put him on. And so yes, these are scenes from Parliament. You can see that the barricades have increased now. There's also heightened security presence. We understand this is to prevent the 4 suspended MPs from making exactly. So this is where MPs will actually enter the chambers. So this is the entrance. Yeah. So yes, the lobby that you have seen the barricades there. And clearly,
isn't what we've been doing our interviews.
So just this thing to prevent the 4 MPs from entering the chamber.
Exactly. And that's why we are worried for Mr. Hiafo when he says that he looked behind him and couldn't find a marshal. Because
are we sure that that's why we have this barricade? Because
our correspondent
to be fair, when the speaker said that the 4 were suspended, they got out of the chamber. They didn't resist. So if they didn't resist at the time, I don't think they would.
And I'm not sure they will come to the house when they are on suspension.
I don't think this was brought for them. Maybe it's enhanced security. Maybe it's a police way of doing security because this is just so behind the doors you see, the brown doors are the door to the chamber.
But you see, maybe when the announcement of the suspension was made, they accepted and walked out. But if you follow the commentary and the positioning of even their leadership after the announcement, it perhaps gives an indication of what is most likely to happen today.
I'm not sure that Fiameto, with all his experience, I'm not sure Arnold Dompe with all his experience in the house. I'm not sure Jerry and Ghcelebs MP and the rest, with all the experience and the exposure, will want to come into the chamber.
Were you sure with all the experience they'll put chairs on tables and destroy tables? Were you sure with all the experience they'll hold each other's neck?
That I'm not sure and I wasn't sure.
But
with the pronouncement of the speaker that don't come to the chamber here on suspension, I'm not sure they will come there.
Sanders spoke about the voice of the devil and what it can do to you.
I'm not sure.
Do you know what I'm not sure they
will? For me, this place. So for those who may not have gone to Parliament or covered, this is where we typically. This is where I did my interviews.
You do your interviews. Yes.
Ordinarily, this is where we set up our makeshift studio.
So immediately they come out from the chamber, you grab them there and do the interview there.
And so I don't know why the barricade will come all the way here, because you see, there's a tunnel.
And there's too many of it.
There's a tunnel coming out of Job 600. That tunnel has a security check. There's a security post there. Then there is a main entrance where there's a security check. Then there's another entrance from the committee room area where there's also a security check. I think you could regulate it there. I don't think we should bring barricades inside here. I don't get the sense of bringing police barricades, police branded, because everybody who enters here would have entered because they gave them the clearance.
Exactly.
First of all, before you enter Parliament, there are 2 gates. There's a main gate opposite Conference Center. Then there's a back gate where the police station is. You cannot enter without a purpose. There are police people manning these places. In fact, the small gate there, that's where the police station itself is. And then the main gate, they have big gates and they can lock it. So if you go through that one, that's the first check. Then you come to the Parliament side. If you're going to the Speaker's place, there's a checkpoint there. You have to go through that. That's the Speaker's conference room or the Speaker's office. If you're going to Job 600, there's a scanning room. The doors are revolving metallic doors. You cannot just come and enter. That's if you're going to Job 600. If you're going to the committee room, there's a whole lot. Me, last week when I was entering the place, I didn't have my ID card. I left it in the car. When I got there, the guy said, "Master, ID card." Luckily, I was working with Bernard Mona. His towel was like this because he's gotten a chieftaincy title. So they say, "Oh, honorable," and I followed them. We went inside.
We'll continue that story. Let's speak to our parliamentary correspondent, Nia Ikwe Okai, on what is actually happening there to get a proper understanding. Thank you so much, Ni, for your time. We're seeing videos as you have sent us regarding all these barricades and all. Kindly help us understand exactly what is happening regarding all these new security measures or additional security measures.
Well, so for last week, the Speaker, Alban Bagbin, suspended 4 members of Parliament, 3 from the minority side, with 1 from the majority side, for their involvement in the violent confrontation that marred the ministerial veteran at the Appointments Committee last week. Now, due to this morning, there's been a heightened security sitting. Is expected to commence at 12 noon, but as it stands now, it is yet to start. We've seen members of the minority group here in their numbers clad in black attire with red armbands, as well as some of the bands around their necks, just to protest this action taken by the Speaker, Alban Bagbin. There's also heightened security, police presence here, as well as barricades mounted at various points here in Parliament, just to ensure that these lawmakers who were suspended by the Speaker do not make their way into the chamber. So right here is the entrance of the chamber, parliamentary chamber, and these NPP MPs are trying to make their way into the chamber. But then the security here is also trying to ensure that they go in appropriately. But with such huge numbers, they have to go in accordingly. So they are just trying to ensure that we do not have any of those who were actually suspended amongst them. So that is the situation here. The NPP MPs clad in black attire with their red armbands and neck bands, just to protest against the Speaker's suspension of their colleagues. I have with me here the Member of Parliament for Tafo Vincent Eko Asifo. I would engage him briefly on what exactly this action seeks to achieve. Honorable, thanks for joining us on our special coverage of this whole ministerial vetting process. We know that last week Speaker suspended 3 of your colleagues, as well as one of the NDC MPs. Now this one, we've seen that you are clad in black attire with red armbands and neck armbands. What exactly is the issue today?
The issue here is that we are resisting oppressors' rule. We are creating the awareness to the Ghanaian people that we have a constitutional supremacy. We have a democratic institution. In a democratic Ghana, we do not have a speakership supremacy. We have a constitution that is bigger and powerful and authoritative than any other law in this country. So the Speaker of Parliament cannot be seen to be relying on the subservient law to topple a constitutional provision. Cardinal of this constitution is the fact that there should be fair hearing as far as Article 19 is concerned. Now, fair hearing, inherent in the fair hearing, is the principle of natural justice, where you have to listen to the other side. We are not in any way supporting what happened. We do not. I condemn it in no certain terms. But I'm saying that even in the face of the wrongdoing, proper procedural approach should be adopted, so that we know that indeed we are not in a banana state.
Now, your leadership yesterday ferried these concerns to the Speaker through a memo. Why don't you wait for the Speaker to preside today and then make any consequential orders to that effect, rather than resorting to a protest today?
The Speaker of Parliament did not wait to listen to the members of Parliament. We have a lot of options to make sure that the right thing is done, and we are embarking on a number of options that will, as it were, ensure that the right thing is done. The right thing is to allow members of Parliament to represent the people who voted for them. There are thousands of people who voted us here. The anticipation is that we should be able to represent them here on the floor of Parliament, and no one should usurp the powers of these people and stop members from, as it were, going about its business. And so that is why we feel that we should protest for the Ghanaian people to know that what happened on Friday is a bad precedent that we are setting. It's a dark day in the history of this country. It's a dark day in our democratic dispensation. It should not have happened. It happened at a very wrong time, and we feel that what happened is wrong, and for that matter, we should make sure that the people of Ghana actually understands what is happening.
A committee has been set up to investigate this whole incident. Why don't you wait for the committee to commence its sitting, hear from those affected, and then probably an action could be taken than this action?
That by the time that the committee will finish sitting, I'm sure that these people might have served their suspension term. So as I said, even on the floor of Parliament, we will use the legal means So it's fine. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking with us. So you had Vincent Echo as if for sharing with us why the minority has today decided to wear black attire and also clad themselves with red armbands as well as neck bands to protest the speaker's directive suspending their colleagues. I would want to try and then engage more of these MPs and find out what they also make. We've seen the first deputy minority whip Habib Idrisu addressing the media. Let's listen to what he has to say.
It is a black day for our democracy if we allow this thing to start.
Finally, who expects your side to approve the ministerial nominees? The reports are ready.
Immediately after the speaker give an order, and then we walk out of the chamber. Any other person who was vetted, it is an illegality because the appointment committee under Order 217 was not properly constituted. It was not about quorum issue. It is about being properly constituted because the minority and the majority whip are mentioned in the standing orders to constitute the appointment committee before they come and say that any other member. If you read that standing order very well, it states the first deputy speaker being the chairman, the minority leader being the ranking member, the deputy majority leader being the vice chairman, the majority whip, the minority whip, and 5 other members. So we are not asking about quorum. We are talking about the committee being constituted. And Speaker himself agreed that the committee was not properly constituted. That's why in his directive he said that the selection committee must meet today to reconsider the appointment committee. By his action, he was convinced that the appointment committee was not properly constituted anymore. And you could see that day they rushed almost every other appointee to be vetted in that illegality, and we will not be part of it. When we get to the bridge, we will cross the bar. For today, we are registering our displeasure on the suspension of our 3 colleagues.
Thank you very much.
So you heard that the first deputy minority whip, Habib Idrisu, speaking to journalists. Let me try and then engage more of these MPs. I've seen here with me Honorable Gloria Owusu. Honorable, you welcome to Channel 1 News. Today you are clad in black attire, so as your colleagues. What exactly is the issue?
We don't know what is happening here. We all know that today we are having sitting at 12 p.m. and we are here. You can see the doors are already closed, so we don't know what is happening.
Has any of the officials of the marshal department communicated to you?
No. Our leadership has not communicated anything to us, so we don't know what is happening here. And we don't know what the speaker wants to do. We are members of parliament. We are not criminals. People voted for us. So why are we treating like this?
What is the agenda on the floor of parliament today from your side?
I don't know. We don't have any agenda. What we knew is Speaker has suspended 3 of our members. So we don't know the agenda for today. We are coming to our normal sitting.
Thank you so much for speaking with us. So you heard Gloria Owusu, who is the MP for Trobo, also speaking to us about why the minority has today decided to wear black attire and also clad themselves in red armbands in protest against the Speaker's directive suspending 3 of their colleagues, as well as the majority Chief Whip Roxanne Nelson Dafiameko.
Hello, Nick. We know that there are 2 main entrances, right, to the parliamentary building itself. The one facing the conference center and the one behind where you have the police post. Describe to us what these 2 entrances look like. I'm asking this because of the barricading we are seeing at the main entrance into the chamber. Is this the same level of security you are seeing at these main entrances or not?
Well, so Nana, as I was coming in this morning, I saw at the entrance, one close to the conference center, that there has been heavy security presence there as well. Barricades have been mounted there. And whenever you get there, there is a thorough check before you are allowed into the precinct of Parliament itself. What I was made to do was to roll down my glasses, the car glasses, to ensure that it is thoroughly checked before I made entry, and all other entrants to Parliament were also made to go through the same procedure. So it is a whole level of security here today just to ensure that there is order to prevent these MPs who have been suspended from making their way into the chamber. I have here with me the MP for Force Ayobi, let's engage him also on this issue.
I'm Black in solidarity with our brothers who Speaker has purported to suspend for 2 weeks. And we have been on record to draw his attention that in line with the standing orders of Parliament, respectfully, the Speaker does not have the power to do that. Even the disciplinary processes, they are laid down rules, either of the 30 to 35 or 129, 130. What he has done is totally ultra-virus, and he doesn't have the powers to do that. And so in solidarity with our brothers, that's why you see us in black.
You've sent a memo through your leader.
That's correct. That is correct.
Is this an additional measure?
Which one?
I'm talking about you clad in black and red. Is this an additional measure?
It's complementary to that, yes.
Now, the vetting process, and somebody has argued that actions and reactions. What happened at the appointments committee shocked many people. Isn't that why the Speaker probably behaved the way he behaved?
When a man even steals, and a judge is present, the judge cannot say because he is scandalized by the theft, he has picked a gun from his holster and has shot the man and killed him. He would have to have the man prosecuted, the threshold for conviction met, a conviction established, and even sentencing has to be done in accordance with the law. So we have not said that Mr. Speaker is unqualified to be angry or is unjustified in his anger. In fact, the committee apologized on Friday morning. What we have said is that Mr. Speaker's suo motu attempt to punish without recourse to the standing orders is what we respectfully disagree with. And when we get into the chamber today, that's what we want to draw his attention to. It's surprising that the marshals don't want to let us into the chamber.
Yeah, ordinarily, we shouldn't see you here in this number. But what is preventing you from going inside?
The marshals say they are under instructions not to let us in. We are waiting. We've sent our leadership in to find out who's giving this instruction and why. We're waiting. I don't know, 3 hours, 4 hours, we'll be here and we'll wait until they open us to go in. Parliament is a house of dialogue where we would have the opportunity to raise the issues and draw Mr. Speaker's attention to the standing orders. And that's the opportunity we're looking for.
You are a lawyer.